right, we got Chris Smooth. Can't blame Simheads. NBA 2K24 ratings and screenshots. So you guys don't know, dudes trying to expose Chris Smooth on Twitter for doing the exact same thing that he's against and spam dribbling in the park. Or something like that.
We're at that point in the cycle where people are pointing fingers at Simheads, in quotation marks. They're complaining about the gameplay, the state of the gameplay, the direction of the gameplay in the franchise.
I think, yeah, some had like they want the game to be more simulation, like real life, instead of like arcadey and whatnot. I think 2K15 was a good example of being arcadey. Like their offense was just OP and the defense couldn't do nothing about it. But I think what made 2K16 great was the offense was still OP, but the defense got OP. So it was a perfect balance. It was just a perfect balance. That's why I think 2K15 the greatest 2K in my opinion.
Last few years and going into NBA 2K24. And somehow
Jokic is a 98? He should be like a 96. LeBron should not be no 96. LeBron should be like a 93. These ratings are way too high this year, 2K.
this bad game
It's based off these two players right here.
gameplay, it's the Simheads' fault.
Giannis is a 96. Giannis should be a 94. And KD should be a 94. They both should be 94. Or you can argue KD should be a 93. It's this too. 96, bro? They ain't no 96.
There's not that many Simheads that play this game. What percentage of the player base in 2K do you think?
Okay, Curry 96. I'll give one a 90, 95. And big. Choke game 7. Choke game 6. I'll give you a 94. You should be a 94 and B. And Curry's too high. He should be a 95 or 94. They should both be 94. Yeah, they should both be 94. These ratings are way too high. You giving them 2 extra points for no reason whatsoever. What did you do? Come on.
Be considered a Simhead. What percentage out of 100? Because I can tell you right now, if I go and play on a random gamer tag, a gamer tag that is not famous, and I go to the park.
Tatum's a 95, bro. Let's see. Tatum, 95. Tatum should be a 94. Jimmy Butler should be like a 91. In the playoffs, yeah, you're 95 in the playoffs. But during the regular season, you know, Jimmy Butler, he just chilled during the regular season. And in the playoffs, he's a 95. Maybe you should have some type of boost in the playoffs. When you get to the playoffs, you have some type of boost to up your overall. But he's a 91. He should be a 91. Jimmy should be a 91. I ain't no 95 unless it's the playoffs.
Or I go to
Why is
the
he
rec
yelling?
center, I go play online. Am I gonna see sim basketball being played, or am I gonna see a bunch of cheese?
Luka 95. Luka, okay. Booker 94. Booker should not be no 94. It should be like a 91. It's too high, Booker.
So when you're complaining about the state of the gameplay, you have to understand the reason that the game plays this way is because of how you complain about the game.
93 Shea. He's too high. He should be like a 90. Yeah, he should be like a 90. Mitchell. He should be like a 91. It's too high. These ratings are too high. Damn, what y'all doing?
Are in the minority.
Why are all these ratings too high?
There's not that many of
Shea is good.
them. They don't.
But come on, bro. He should be no 93.
Influence. When they complain about the game, they don't listen to them.
Who?
Sim players are in the minority. There's not that many of them. They don't have
like dudes like King of the Fourth Quarter. He won't play online. He just play sim. He don't even play the game. He just simulate. What do you do? Like dudes like who play My Career. Like me. I played My Career mostly this year. But
influence.
Yeah, they're in the minority though. They listen to the park players, not the dudes that play My Career and Play Now. They only listen to the dudes that in the park that plays park.
They complain about
like Chris Smooth. He plays mostly My Career. They ain't gonna listen to him.
About the game.
They gonna listen to someone in the park.
They don't listen to them.
He's right about that.
When a player complains about the game.
This man has not played not one NBA game. You give him an 84, bro? I can't judge. I can't judge his overall. He ain't playing on NBA, so you gotta stay at 84, I guess.
It sounds something like this.
I think he's higher than LeBron. LeBron came in, he wasn't no 84. He's like a 79.
lock up this pick and roll and I finally get that good animation to slip over on the other side, he shouldn't be able to then turbo away from me, run into the corner, and hit a fading three, green a fade.
This man got a big ass contract, only an 89, not even a 90, bro. And that's a perfect grade for him too. 89. Murray, 88. Now I'll bump up Murray 1 at 89. I'll bump up Murray to 89. He's the same as Jaylen Brown.
Fading three.
They disrespected Murray.
Without takeover, he shouldn't be able to bail himself out.
What's
like
AD's overall?
Now, there's not a lot of people that complain to 2K about that. Instead, this
so
is
Anthony
what
Davis?
people complain to 2K about.
You saw
They
Russell
say
Westbrook?
something like
Westbrook
this:
should be like a 90 up. You saw what he did in the playoffs.
I can't make shots. I got a 93 ball. I'm wide open. I can't make a shot. I looked at my player card. I'm only shooting 55% from the three-point line. I need to be shooting at least 70% from three. I'm changing my release every week. They keep patching my shot. I gotta go make a new shot every week. So when 2K sees the 5 complaints from sim players complaining about the guys bailing themselves out at the end of the shot clock when they got locked up, hitting a fading three, greening the fading three, after zigzagging the whole 24 seconds, they just ignore that because they're getting flooded with 1,000, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, a million Brazilian, a billionaire, a trillionaire. They see people complaining about they can't hit a shot with a 93. What do you think 2K is gonna do? They're gonna make it
This one's called dope. Christmas, I didn't know you use that.
easy.
Hey, Klay Thompson has a 93. He goes on slumps, bro. You guys gotta. That's basketball, bro. Sometimes it's your day, and sometimes it's not, bro. Not every day can be your day in basketball. He has a 90. Told us Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson probably missed like, you know what the slumps Klay Thompson go on? 2 for 18, bro. 2 for 11 from 3. Come on, this is basketball though. That part I agree with him.
Easier to shoot. And that's why people can fade consistently and make shots from 3. They can build an offensive strategy around that tactic. It works. And because the
Fade from 3, I never saw that before.
works,
I only saw a fade in the corner, but that's realistic. You fade in the corner. You fade somewhere like atop the key. You doing a fade for no reason at the top of the key. That's crazy. But in the corner, I get it.
now we have a problem on defense because you have to potentially be ready to guard this fade, but they could also just go right around you and go to the basket. So on defense, you can't guard both. So you kind of got to guess, what do you want to do on this possession? Do you want to try to go for that fade? Do you think he's going to fade, or do you think he's going to go to the basket? Should I back off a little bit? You're guessing. Instead of reacting, you just guess. In 2K games, it's been like this forever.
And you also gotta understand some bad defenders out there, bro. There's also some bad defenders. They just want to abuse them, and that's real life too. So that's the thing. He forget to mention. He only talks about the cheese, but you gotta understand. Some people do the cheese on bad defenders. That's what you do. When you see a bad defender on the court, take advantage of them. Get them on a switch and do your thing. Whoop-de-doo!
The player always has an advantage. They always have.
That's why my build this year is gonna add defense. He gonna be taller. He gonna be even taller. My last year, my build was 6'4". That's too short. Now online, I'll wait till the game come. I'm gonna show y'all my build.
Speed advantage.
He gonna be able to play defense. He gonna be able to shoot. He gonna be able to drive. He gonna have to handle a little bit. I feel like you don't need like a crazy playmaking skills. If you have a good basketball IQ, I feel like your playmaking skills are already gonna be good because you have a good basketball IQ.
On offense, there
So
are
because I have a great basketball IQ, I'm gonna average like 10 assists per game with the 50 pass rating and 50 playmaking rating. Because my IQ is just like that.
That you can go from a
So if your IQ is really like that, you don't really need to up your playmaking. Because by nature, you're already a good playmaker because your IQ is good.
To flying 100 miles an hour in any direction. There are so many moves. There's step back moves. There's literally a standstill move. Just hold turbo and go diagonal and you're speeding. There's just so many ways to speed up your player on offense. On defense, there is no way to speed yourself up.
Let's put that option on defense then. Game solved. Problem solved. Go speed up offense, speed up on defense. 2K, whatever you do on offense, do the same for defense, okay? 2K16 was most balanced game ever, in my opinion. Just do the same thing here. It's not that difficult. You see a meta, create a new meta on defense then. You gotta start making metas on defense, not just offense. Because that's what everyone posts. Offense. And if you post a meta on defense, no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. They just gonna complain, oh, defense is too OP. Defense is too OP. And nah, the offense is OP. But the defense is OP as well, so it balances out. That's what it needs. Balance.
So if you're guarding somebody and in the back of their mind, they're thinking that they got
it's a steal. Oh, what the hell, 2K? You still had this in the game?
Their mind, they're thinking.
Bro, this is a steal that behind the back to the side that he's on. Hey, what the hell?
That they got by you. They've already gotten by you. They didn't even make their move yet, and they've
Yo, just make the defense OP, bro. You just gotta make the defense OP.
Already gotten by you. And it's funny because you can even guess the direction that somebody's gonna go in, and you can even get a collision.
Okay.
You can trigger a
This is realistic. This is realistic. Dudes do this all the time, though. Dudes do this all the time in part.
Collision.
They want to ISO someone one-on-one. They do this. They do this. Or they ISO one-on-one.
For the offensive player to get a speed boost.
Right there, Chris, you reach. You reach and he tees, Chris. Right here, you reach and he tees. I know he was dribbling too much, but he's a dribbler. He's a dribbler. He's a point guard. Point guards can dribble like this, okay, Chris? I get it was like a center. Like, I get it was a big center with no dribbling skills, but I'm pretty sure he has some, number 17 has good dribbling. So you just gotta stay solid. You can't reach. That's what they're rating for. You ever seen Harden? James Harden did it all the time when he was in Houston. One-on-one. Let me dribble the shot clock up and do a step back three at the last second, or drive past you at the last second, throw the lob to Capella, or lay the ball up. This is basically the same thing here. It's basically the same thing here, but Chris reach. See, look at his reach. You could have got back in position, but you decided to reach.
For the offensive,
so it's not all the time. It's sometimes, not all the time.
Player to get a speed boost and go in the other direction, to bounce off of the collision and then speed boost for a layup or a dunk. So when people are complaining about the game, I never see people complaining, saying, hey, on defense.
Like if he's a center, yeah, you can rip him, but you're not ripping the point guard, bro. You're not ripping the point guard. There's a reason why teams don't press in the NBA. Why they don't full court press in the NBA or the whole game, like they do in AAU and rec leagues.
We need to be able to go faster. We need to be able to move laterally. That guy didn't really do anything, but he got by me. Why can't I just take a simple step over here and collide with him?
So I think it's just finding the right balance. It's never going to be right. Everyone's going to have their own, you know what I'm saying? Their own complaints and whatnot. But 2K just got to do what you think is best.
Never hear anybody
watch it as many NBA games as possible and just make an opinion or make the game off that.
Complaining,
you know what I'm saying? Make a decision off it.
Calm down this speed boosting. There's too many ways that you can just go from 0 to 100 before I can blink an eye. I never hear people complaining about that, but I hear
that's
people
realistic.
saying,
yeah, you go. That's realistic. Change of pace. Yeah, that's realistic. Dude can go 0 to 100 real quick. Yeah, change of pace. Ja Morant, Scoot Henderson.
I never hear people complaining about that, but I hear people saying,
it's realistic. Yeah,
I can't speed boost.
Oh yeah, you do hear that. I can't speed. It's my speed boost.
Can't momentum. I can't momentum. I can't link the momentum with this. The dribbling sucks. Get rid of these adrenaline bars.
Yeah, he's right about that.
Here's the funny thing about the adrenaline bars. When they were first announced, all of the sim heads in quotations, in the back of their mind, they knew that this was not a solution because you still had.
Chris, when you talking about pub profits, I know you do pub profits.
Best way to make money on Amazon is not
3 bars every possession, which means you get 3 chances every possession to activate one, and you only need to activate one, and that's it. You're gone. So the first 2 times that you tried to activate, knowing that offensive players are faster.
I mean, adrenaline is realistic too, like in real life. Not just in basketball and football too. You see Patrick Mahomes. He said the way he run, you know, when he scrambles out the pocket and starts to run, he runs faster than he usually does because he's scared. It's the adrenaline in him. So that is realistic, but
defensive players kind of.
I don't know how 2K is doing it.
Gotta guess. A defensive player could have locked you up twice. Guessed which way you were activating twice. Remember, online, there's lag and latency that also helps this situation. But then you still had that 1 bar left. You pulled it back one more time, and
Hold on, I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back.
then you launched and you were out of there. You slipped by. He could have even bumped you and you slipped by. You blew by. Maybe your clamp breaker activated and you blew by. Now, this is going to make a lot of people mad because all of this stuff is documented. People came out and complained about the adrenaline system. It's in videos everywhere. And there's only a handful of people that all year never complained about the adrenaline system. There's only a few dribblers, real elite dribblers, that were not affected at all by the adrenaline system. They never complained about it. All the other people complain about adrenaline system. Maybe they're going to private their videos. They don't want you to go back and be like, look, this guy was complaining about the adrenaline. He couldn't dribble. There were only a very select few that never did, and they were still moving. They were moving unaffected by adrenaline. They didn't even use adrenaline. Now, how is that possible, guys? You have been exposed. You are not the elite dribbler you think you are. You couldn't dribble. I don't want you to go back and be like, look, this guy was complaining about the adrenaline. He couldn't dribble. There were only a very select few that never did.
Like I said, you already know what I said about adrenaline.
And they were still moving.
They just have to make the system better, if that makes sense. They just gotta make it better.
Were moving unaffected by adrenaline.
Because adrenaline is realistic. Like you running from a bear. If a bear is chasing you, you gonna run as fast as you ever ran in your life. Like you never ran as fast before because you run away from a bear. It's the adrenaline.
Very select few that never did, and they were still moving. They were moving unaffected by adrenaline. They didn't even use adrenaline. Now, how is that possible, guys? You have been exposed.
I don't know what he said.
You are not the elite dribbler you think you are. You were complaining about adrenaline, and they were moving without adrenaline. They were unaffected. Explain yourself. You can't hide. The videos are there. We've seen it.
Explain yourself.
I've seen it. And I remember at one point in the year, 2K patched the left-right. Woo! The uproar was crazy. For about a week, it was nonstop complaining, and 2K reverted that patch back with the quickness. And once again, those elite dribblers, they were not affected during that whole time. It didn't bother them, but it bothered you, and you can't hide that fact.
You can't hide.
But what is sim? What does it mean when
tough.
somebody says sim basketball or sim head? Yes,
Sim
it
head.
does mean realistic, more realistic. We are playing a video game.
In this
At the
video,
same
I'm
time,
going to
yeah.
show you how I made $1.2 million in the first 7 months working online without having to be an affiliate.
No, I said that's why you might make the offense OP. That's arcadey right there. Then you make the defense OP. That's simulation right there. Balances out. It can balance out. Like 2K16 was half simulation and half arcadey. Okay? Just to find that balance. 2K, if you find that balance, you're gonna make the greatest 2K ever. 2K will not disappoint. Every year, 2K will be playable all year long. And it will not disappoint no one if you find a balance. Perfect balance between arcade and simulation. If they find that perfect balance, 2K back on top.
That you
Guaranteed.
can't do video game things. But we are playing basketball, and basketball has certain strategies and tactics, and there's supposed to be ways to counter strategies that make sense from a basketball standpoint. It doesn't mean that you can't do flashy dunks or dribbles. To keep it as simple as possible, sim is really about variety in gameplay.
It is.
There are so many animations available in the game. There are so many different ways to attack and different strategies and different things that you can do on the court in this game with all of these virtual players. But you never get to see those things. You get to see maybe about 5 different moves every game, when really you should be seeing about 35 different moves a game. And if you play for an hour or 2 hours, every game you should see something you didn't see in the last game. But what ends up happening in 2K is that people do the same thing the entire game. So you could play
I mean, yes and no at the same time, because some people have the same moves in real life. So, I mean, I say is I'm in the middle. I'm in neutral mode right now. Because it's sometimes in the balance. Yeah, they may have different dribble styles and whatnot, but they may have the same moves. So it may look different.
center.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, people still have the same moves. So I think this is like a balance. It's all about balance.
Which is 5v5. You get all excited. You're like, yo, we're about to play some team basketball. We could run some plays, some pick and rolls and pick and pops. We can run some off-ball screens, some double down screens. We can have some post action happen every once in a while. We could have some backdoor cuts, some passes. We could pass from not just the middle of the court, from the main ball handler. You're thinking about how you can run plays, and then you get online, and every game against the team, there is a zone defense. So
That's
what
realistic.
does that mean? That means you can't do any of that stuff. You
Yeah,
can't
zone defense part of basketball. NBA teams run it till this day. I think it's cheesy, but NBA teams run it in real life.
run.
Bro, you know, we was in a rec league, we had practice, and the dudes, the coaches up there designing all types of zones and plays and whatnot. Bro, it's realistic.
Any
He had us in zone the whole game, basically, until, like, the end of the quarter. He said, oh, yeah, y'all can go man. Y'all go man to man. But zone, 2-3, 3-2, 1-2-1, 1-2-2.
plays because you got guys standing in a specific spot the whole game.
Yeah.
They have this designated spot, and every possession, their player goes to that exact pixel and stands right there.
Yeah, I don't agree with you with that, Smooth. That's realistic. That's realistic, bro. They do even do that in NBA sometimes.
On offense, it's the same thing. It's a 5-out offense. You've got designated guys that just stand in the same spot. They just wait until somebody goes to help because it's a one-on-one. They're going to do the whole thing with the offense and the speed advantage that the offense has. So if somebody helps, then they'll make a pass. The guy standing on that pixel, the same pixel.
You can't get mad at it if it's a bad defender. The dude doesn't know how to play defense on the sticks. Your player has to have defensive skills. Plus, you got to have defensive skills on the sticks. You know how you got all these dribbles? Oh, yeah, they got the skills on the sticks. They got the offensive skills on. They got the dribbling skills on the stick. You also got to have some defensive skills on the sticks. Move your feet. Don't reach. I don't know why people reach on a dude that's dribbling 1,000 times, doing all types of dribble. You're not going to rip him. He's clearly made to dribble. That's what he made his player do, to dribble. You're not going to rip him. I get it if he was like a rim running center, then yeah, rip him. I'm spamming that button. But it was a point guard, bro. A little ass point guard, short ass point guard, bro. I'm not ripping him.
He was standing on for the whole
He already low to the ground. You ain't gonna
game.
get
He's gonna
that.
shoot the three. Hey, maybe that guy will cut every once in a while from the corner. Yeah, maybe this team will run a pick and roll instead of the one-on-one 5-out, but it's still a 5-out. It's a pick and roll every time. Yeah, maybe, okay. Like I said, there's gonna be about 5 moves that you see when you should be seeing at least 35 different moves every game.
He's talking. Yeah, it's facts though. You should be seeing like 30 to 40 to 50 moves, different moves every game. But it's a basketball game. It's still a basketball game. I mean, still a video game. It's still a video game.
Everybody remember the Curry slide.
Yup.
Wow, that was a crazy year. Every dribble combo ended with a Curry slide.
Yup.
It was abused and used so much that
Yep.
the next year, 2K
Took
took
it.
the Curry slide
They took it
out
out
of the
the
game.
Yeah, I know.
It was no longer in the store. You couldn't even buy the animation for your player. Now, the funny thing is,
Everyone was using it. It was the Curry slide into Jamal Crawford. It was the Jamal Crawford double behind the back from 2K16. Everyone was doing that. Automatically broke ankles, no matter where you were. If you did that move, like at half court, you would break your defender's ankles.
the Cheezers, this is hilarious. They found out a way to still get the Curry slide. They made a new build, and somehow they glitched the build, and then the build had access to the Curry slide.
Demigod?
And I remember we were in a game, we were playing in the rec, and I saw somebody do a Curry slide, and I was like, wait, what? How did he do a Curry slide?
Chris moves like the police for cheesers, bro.
So
He said, "Jeez, arrest him."
because you guys don't complain about the right things, 2K doesn't know how to fix this. The only way to fix this problem, this variety problem, this cheesing problem, is to improve the defense. Nobody cares that you want to dribble out the
Who
clock.
gonna make videos on defense, bruh? Who gonna make? Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's what I said. Improve the defense. Then, if you got problem with the offense, improve the defense. But who gonna make videos on defense, bruh? Probably Cash Nasty. He gonna make a lockdown just to make a video on defense. Who gonna make tutorials on defense? No one's making tutorials on defense. They gonna make tutorials on offense, showing them scoring buckets, shooting from half court, dribbling. No one's gonna post defense, bro. So it's up to defense. No one's gonna care.
Seconds, trying to be fancy, trying to be an elite dribbler. Like I said, there's only a few guys all year that didn't complain about the adrenaline, and those were the only true elite dribblers. There's not that many of them. We don't care that you're dribbling like crazy. We care that when you make a mistake, oh yes, and a lot of you are making hella mistakes, when you put that ball right in front of us, we can't steal the ball. So in the...
But like I said, Smooth, if they a point guard with the high dribble rating, you're not gonna rip them. This is like trying to take the ball away from Chris Paul, bro, and he's in ISO. You're trying to take the ball away from Curry, and he's in ISO. You're not ripping Curry. You're not ripping Chris Paul, unless you're me or Kawhi Leonard or someone. With Chris Smooth, you're not doing that. It's like James Harden. Like I said, you're not ripping them. You reach, they teach. Just stay solid and see whatever happens, happens.
Curry slide
And the defense going to be OP, hopefully, just like the offense.
year, it was used and abused so much, you knew when somebody was going to do it. So what does a smart person do? What does a basketball mind do? They say, you know what I'm going to do? When he does the Curry slide, I'm going to be on the other side of the Curry slide. I'm going to be on this hand, so when he does it, and then he puts the ball right there, I'm going to steal it. That's the logical way to stop that move and many other moves. When people are spinning,
He's right about that, though.
they're doing it in and out, whatever it is, if they place that ball right in front of you and you're standing there, you should be able to steal it. You anticipated the move, you got there before they did the move, and
But some players, not all of them, but some players, they're just so good, you can't do nothing about it. Like, they lose the ball for a second, all of a sudden they recover so quickly, and make you look stupid in the process.
then they were dumb enough to do the move and land right there. When you reach in, you should be able to get the steal. But what happens?
See, you see I think in one of my rec games, I got about like 6 steals, something like that. Well, I kept on getting steals. Probably wasn't 6, but I got like, I can't remember, but I got a lot of steals. You just gotta know when to do it. You gotta have timing. You can't just do it, just be spamming it, bro. Or think, oh, do it now. Oh, do it now, because you feel like it's the right time. No, you gotta time it perfectly. Perfectly.
You can't steal the
Like,
Curry
still is an art. Not everyone can do it.
slide. You can't.
Not everyone's gonna be a lockdown defender. That's why they go at you on offense and ISO you and dribble you like James Harden in Houston. You still ISO one-on-one, do a step back 3 or drive
steal all
past you.
these
Lob it.
moves. 2K doesn't need to eliminate the Curry slide. You just need to be able to steal the Curry slide. The current steal
So he just wants counters to everything, basically. That's what he's basically saying. He wants counters to everything.
system in the game is very weird. It doesn't make sense from a basketball standpoint. A lot of moves, you have to steal it right before they activate the move. You can't steal it at the end of the move or mid-move, and that's a problem. So even when these dribblers make mistakes, you can't steal the ball. But I don't hear anybody talking about this. I've never heard anybody complain that you can't steal
Yes, like I said, only for a few. Only for a few. There's nothing you can do. But like I said, you should be able to strip them mid
the ball
move
when
or something
people
like that if they mess up.
make a mistake. But then nobody has a problem about all these crossbody steals where you're trying to protect the ball. You have the ball in the opposite hand on the opposite body side, but they can still steal it.
Sick of all the ads like this one?
That's 2K problem. That's a 2K
Just
problem, bro.
Head to adskiller.com. Click on
Chris, we have an ad killer? Yeah, on ad?
Add AdsKiller to
From across your body with an animation. But when somebody dribbles right,
This it right
in
here?
front of you, maybe even bumps
This it right
into
here?
you, you get a collision, baby. Now you can't steal it. You might even get a reach-in foul.
You know, I gotta know these are NBA refs. They got NBA refs.
The only way to get variety is to have the counter to the variety. The defense has to improve. Same thing with the zone defense in the rec center. Zone defenses have weaknesses, but in 2K, there is no weakness. You're all up in the passing lane. Either the court is too small, the players are too big, something's not right with the passing, the angles. That's not what happens in basketball. So that's why people sit in the zone, because there's no weakness. When you play zone, another weakness is supposed to be rebounding. There's no rebounding weakness. People are leaking out, cherry picking. They get the rebound, they throw it down the
do
court.
be cherry picking.
People up top in the zone, they immediately release. Nobody is complaining about this stuff. So they're not gonna fix the court size or whatever it is. Passing lanes, they're not gonna fix the stealing.
But you never know with 2K. They add them to the game that no one asked for. So might as well change something now. Might as well change something that no one asked for now. Whoop-de-doo!
So people are gonna be able to wildly dribble with no consequence. And that's why it's funny that people complain.
I mean, yeah, you have a high dribble rating. You shouldn't be able to dribble with no consequence. Like, maybe mess up every once in a while, but not all the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a guard with high dribble rating. You shouldn't mess up all the time.
Try to blame sim players, sim heads.
Because good offense beats good defense. That's what I'm trying to say. Good offense beats good defense. So the offense might be OP, and the defense is going to be OP, but the offense still probably going to win most of the time. Because good offense beats good defense. And you got these dudes, these high dribble ratings, high layup ratings, high dunks. Most likely he's going to beat out the good defense. That's just my opinion.
For why they don't like the gameplay. But the gameplay is the way it is because you complain to make it that way. If you don't like how the gameplay is going...
And guess what? They still complaining. Whoop-de-doo! That's why I say 2K, just do what y'all think is best.
Don't like the direct...
No matter what you do, y'all gonna complain regardless. They gonna complain regardless. So this 2K, just do what y'all think is the best.
Then you need to change the...
But please have some balance in it, bro.
Direction.
I just need some balance. Not too much of defense, not too much of offense, right? Perfect balance. Arcade and simulation come together. They have a baby. Simple. The baby is special. The greatest baby that we ever seen. Just like that.
Complaints. It needs to be the majority. They're going to listen to the majority of the complaints and they're going to do what they say. And there's no way that sim heads are in the majority. And it's funny.
They're not?
Because at the start of 2K, they usually do try to throw a bone to the sim head, so to speak. They try to put in something to please them, but you know it's only going to last for about a week. They're going to get rid of it soon. So that first week of gameplay is always very interesting. And I remember one year, the game came out and the defense was so vicious that people were making memes. They were making in real life memes.
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
People playing basketball, getting punched, tackled, boxing, MMA, wrestling moves, because that's how fierce
the defense, yeah.
the defense was.
2K19.
2K threw a bone, but then you know after a few weeks they're going to patch it right back because the complainers are going to be complaining and they're going to listen to the majority. So if you don't like the gameplay, don't look at the sim heads. Don't get mad at them. They didn't do anything. Be careful what you wish for. You know that saying. You're getting what you wished for. The majority is making the game get tweaked in these ways, and it's not those evil sim heads that are ruining the game.
Evil sim head.
And the funniest thing
he called
about
himself
all
an
of
evil
this
sim head
is that through the years, I've never seen players get tired in 2K when you're playing online. Do you ever see somebody with a Gatorade symbol? People are running all over the court, fading threes, zigzagging, dunking, all game.
In the park, you shouldn't get tired. When you play in park, you shouldn't get tired. Rack, yeah, you should get tired, but not in the park. Cause the park is mostly. Cause the park
gets tired.
Wait, let me pause. But the park is mostly 3v3. And players with high ratings, they're not gonna get tired. It's 3v3 basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's not NBA basketball. It's park basketball. On the rack, yeah, you should get tired, but not in the park. That's what I think.
2K has all of these badges in the game that even if you do get tired, they help you score when you get tired. It's crazy. Like, stamina really doesn't matter that much. So these sim players that you keep complaining about, if they actually had influence on the game, you would see Gatorade symbols out there.
Imagine seeing a Gatorade symbol in a park, bro. It's park. It ain't no NBA game. It ain't no 48-minute NBA game.
You would see people getting tired. I played so many games online in the rec and the park this year, and I don't think I ever saw somebody get tired. Maybe if I did, it might have been like 1 or 2 times out of all the games, and people are
1 or 2 times. That's it. Especially in the park, like I said. It'll also only be in the rec.
holding down turbo the whole game, and I haven't seen the Gatorade symbols. My songs, he quit.
All right, hopefully you guys got what I was trying to say. Well, let me see. Let me know if you agree with Smooth, man. Shout out to Chris Smooth.